President Obama earlier today saying he was open to more options regarding America's energy future. Listen.
I think that on energy, there should be a bipartisan agreement that we have to take a both-and approach rather than either-or approach.
Interesting timing on the administration's about-face, flip-flop, whatever you want to call it, on offshore drilling. Insert Sarah Palin drill, baby drill montage here. My next guest says Obama may not be as open as he claims to be. Welcome Patrick Creighton from the Institute for Energy Research. Patrick, we send more than it's probably $700 billion to countries that, frankly, hate us and sometimes attack us, terrorize us, et cetera, et cetera. Why the about-face by the Obama administration? Let me just touch on this real quick. If I recall, John McCain, when he was running against Obama, he said his theory on energy was all of the above, and Obama was like, no, 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 no. Now, all of a sudden, Obama, all of the above?
Eric, I wouldn't believe it for a second. What the president said today was the same thing he said in the State of the Union address when he mentioned that this country needs to move forward with more offshore oil and gas production. Yet a week later, his budget increased taxes on oil and gas production by $36.5 billion. This administration has leased less land for domestic energy production than that of any other administration in 1 year on record. So it's just a lot of rhetoric coming out of the Obama administration. It's a shame their actions don't match that rhetoric. So what he said today, that's good, but judging on what he said in the history, it's just more of the same.
Pat, last week ExxonMobil came out and they said they reported, they paid $78 billion in taxes, although the rate comes out to about 25, 26%. What's wrong with a big oil company making a lot of money, employing a lot of people, and paying a lot of taxes?
Well, listen, Eric, I'm not here to defend ExxonMobil or any other oil company, but when you're a publicly held company, you have shareholder responsibility. You're going to make money to have that return for your shareholders. What this government's doing, led by President Obama and Secretary Salazar at the Interior Department, they are actually forcing domestic energy companies offshore by putting these policies in place. These big policies, they may put a dent in ExxonMobil's profits, but they're going to put mom-and-pop oil operations out of business. The wildcatters, the folks that produce on the margins, they produce a few barrels here, a few barrels there. This is going to create more job loss at a time when the Marcellus Shale formation in Pennsylvania created 48,000 jobs last year. And that was a result of the markets working. That wasn't a result of a government mandate or a taxpayer handout, as this administration is doing right now with their energy policy.
Talk to us a little bit about, about running out of time, about a minute left, sir. Talk to us a little bit about the environmental effects. I mean, this was a big issue during the campaign. We can't drill offshore. We're worried about, caribou onshore, fish and game and wildlife under the sea. Does this fly in the face of some of the things that he ran on?
Well, listen, we produce energy in this country cleaner, safer than anywhere else in the world. It's not a coincidence that we're drilling for oil 35,000 feet in the Gulf of Mexico with technology that was developed here in this country. I don't buy the environmental argument because, frankly, we've got the most stringent environmental policies on the book. It takes years for a company to even get out there and look for oil and gas. We haven't looked for 30 years on the Atlantic and Pacific coast at what we even have. So this administration and their environmental allies, they're playing the politics of fear. We've got abundant oil, gas, and coal in this country, Eric, and we've got to use it.
Just give me a number, sir, Patrick. How much do we ship overseas to foreign oil companies, oil countries?
Billions of dollars a year.
700 billion. There's 700 billions of dollars. That's Patrick Creighton. He's with the Institute for Energy Research. Rebecca, I'm going to